Look, I don't need to stand up here for too long. I echo the comments made by my colleagues and friends up here. But one of the things that I've heard from a number of reporters and from a number of Democratic activists is this argument that why don't you guys not let the perfect be the enemy of the good? And, of course, the presumption here is that this is good border policy. It's not good border policy. We're letting the bad be the enemy of the good because this is bad border policy. If you're going to actually vote to enact border policy, you're going to take a tough vote for all the reasons that Ted stated. It ought to actually do something important. We have to remember the fundamental framing here. This is what so much of the reporting ignores about this border crisis. The fundamental framing here is Joe Biden has every tool at his disposal to end the border crisis tomorrow. So what we're trying to do with this law is constrain his discretion and force him to do the job that he refuses to do. We're trying to force the president to do what he already could do under existing legal authority. And yet every single provision of this legislation, or nearly every provision of this legislation, allows either Secretary Mayorkas or the President of the United States to waive the enforcement mechanisms. How do you square these things? How do you say we've got to force the president to do a job, and yet we're passing a border bill that allows the president to waive every single authority that the bill gives him? We do not need to give Joe Biden more tools. We do not need to give Joe Biden a border security bill, which is really, as Roger Marshall said, a Ukraine-first bill masquerading as a border security bill. What we need to do is pass legislation that forces Joe Biden to do his job, restrains his discretion, constrains his discretion, not give him more authority to run and around the laws that we have in this country. This bill doesn't do that, so we can't support it. As you heard everybody said, that doesn't mean there is an immigration law that we would support. There are a number of provisions in this bill that if they were made better and actually forced Joe Biden to do his job, we'd all vote for it. I'm maybe the biggest skeptic of Ukraine aid in the United States Senate. I care much more about the American southern border, but I'm not going to vote for a border security package that doesn't do any border security. Thanks.